finally, DJI released the RONIN 4D-8K. After 2 years of waiting for this, it's finally out, and we're out here middle of nowhere with our friends Armando, Cam, and others, and we're gonna be filming a lot of amazing content, do some burnout, do some drifting. We're gonna mount this camera on the car mount, and it's gonna be some epic shots. So stay tuned and let's get into it. A quick disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by DJI, nor they send me the camera unit. I actually collaborated with Cam Mackey on his project, and if you want to see the full version of the clips that I showed you, the link will be down in the description. So what's new with the 8K version, obviously the sensor. It's the Zenmuse X9 8K, it's a full frame sensor, and additionally they added 2 shooting mode features, which we're going to talk more detail later. But now we're going to mount this on a car mount, so let's go. Now in order to get the car mount shots, we're going to be using my own Tilt-A-Hydra Alien, which is great for this kind of shots like that. It's easy to set up. In order to mount the 4D on this, we have to make a couple adjustments. I'm going to use the Tilt-A top handle for the 4D with the Manfrotto plate to mount it, and it's going to be great because we can also use the 4th axis stabilizer with it. So now the whole benefit of using this top handle over the regular one is this has all the mounting options, and unlike the standard one that only has it in the back, which if you try to use it, it's going to be very front heavy and it might even break it. And it doesn't have any safety support or whatever. It just has 1/3/8 and then 1/4-20, and then I think there's another 1/4-20 right here. So now, obviously when you use the car mounting setup, you want to make sure this shit is secured. So we're using a ratchet strap that comes with the kit, just in case if suction cups give up, at least this doesn't fall and damage your whole camera and everything. So we're using this. We're probably going to use a couple more just for the safety. And then obviously we're also going to trash back the whole camera just so we don't have to get it all dirty and stuff. Because out here, every move is going to get the whole camera dusty. So we just want to be safe and cautious. So the whole benefit of using the 4D instead of the traditional RS3 setup is that all you have to do is just take it out of the box and slap it on here and it's ready to go. It's a lot more time consuming if you try to do the other way versus this. Now that we have this whole thing set up, we just want to talk about the whole rig in general. We mounted the 4D with the top handle on the Tilt-A-Hydra Alien. We're using the Nisi PL mount adapter with the Blazer 45mm anamorphic lens. This combo just works out great together. It's holding it. And the best part is, with this whole setup, we can actually use the 4th axis. So when we're getting all the car mounting shots, this is gonna balance it all together. And forgot to mention, the whole monitor system with the high bright monitor, it attaches the RONIN 4D handles on it, and you have full camera control with autofocus, and basically everything you can control using this camera, and it's just perfect for this kind of a setup. This all works out together great, and you have a great range up to like 20,000 feet. One more thing that no one necessarily talks about, and I'm gonna make a video on this, is the GPS module. So this is something it's a very old feature, yet there's zero information about it. This allows the camera to keep the horizontal altitude, and it doesn't do the whole drifting when you're doing crazy action shots. This will actually help to hold the camera horizontally perfectly the whole time. This is the first time we're testing it, so we're gonna see how it handles, how it performs, and we're gonna keep you updated on that.
3, 2, 1, go.
Got a lot of crazy shots of the Bronco going around doing some drifting and stuff, and check out what happened to the 4D. It's like, not only this thing handled it the whole time, but it's just dusty. Like, it looks like a different camera right now. This really needs some good cleaning, but it hold it up. I mean, the surface is not smooth or anything, but I mean, I have my GPS over here. Hi there. I have my GPS over here, and I mean, this thing helped, but it's like so dusty, like. So we're just gonna see how it is. For those who don't know what the RONIN 4D is, it's DJI's attempt of making a cinema camera using their best-in-class gimbal technology and camera units combined into all-in-one gimbal camera combo design. So now with the 8K, DJI is competing with other high-end production cinema cameras such as Arri, Sony, and Red by bringing vivid colors, better skin tone, and also adding ACES workflow to it. So now let's get into more technical details about the 8K. I know I'm holding the 6K right here. I just don't have the 8K head with me. However, what's new is obviously the sensor. It's the Zenmuse X9 8K that can shoot up to 75 frames per second. You can shoot 60 normal with no crop, and then if you want to do a 75 frames per second, you have to use the SNQ, which does crop to 239:1 aspect ratio. There's also improvement with the 4K, which now you can do up to 120 with no crop, which is great for those who like to shoot 4K 120 stuff. Additionally, there's no changes to the body design. It's still the same design, same 9-stops ND filters and everything. However, with this, you now get a low pass filter, which helps with the skin tones and reduces the moire effect. Additionally, if you're someone who shoots Super 35, if you have the APS-C lenses, then now you can get up to 5.5K in ProRes RAW. But if you don't use the ProRes RAW, then you get downsampled 4K from the 8K sensor. Some new features that came with the Ronin 4D-8K are 2 new shooting modes, a standard mode and an HDR Expansion Mode. Now with the standard one, it replaces the existing one that was on the 6K by having new lower base ISOs of 320 and 1600, and also adding 12-bit colors compared to 6K's 10-bit color. Now the 12-bit is good for those who like to push the limits with the colors, and it's just better when it comes to color grading. In standard mode, there's also big improvements when it comes to the rolling shutter performance. When we're in location and doing all those tests, it was really obvious to see that there was a big improvement compared to the 6K. Now I've put the 6K to my own tests with similar shoots, and I can clearly see the drastic difference when it comes to both footages. Now with the HDR Expansion Mode, the native ISOs go back to 800 and 4000 with the addition of 14-bit colors. And when we compared it with the 6K, we could clearly see more information in shadows and in highlights. The only downside with the HDR Expansion Mode is that you lose the rolling shutter performance, and it's only limited to up to 30 frames per second. Now, one thing that I noticed when we're doing the comparison with Cam is that the image on the 8K looks a bit darker compared to the 6K. When we try to match all the settings, it just looked a little bit off. So what we had to do is we had to put the ND 1 stop lower on the 8K in order to match with the 6K footage. I'm sure you can also fix that in post. It's just a bit of an inconvenience if you have both cameras on set and you want to match all the settings to each other. One thing to mention is that at the time of this recording, this camera only allowed us to shoot 8K 75 frames only in ProRes RAW mode and not in other codecs. And speaking about codecs, there's no more 4444 HQ and 422 LT with this camera. DJI has no plans of adding it to the 8K, so if you like using those codecs, then you have to stick with the 6K. So now that the 8K is out, are there going to be any improvements to the 6K? Well, based on what I know, the only update that you get with the 6K is that now you can do 6K in 50 frames per second with no crop, which was previously limited up to 48 frames. I think with the 8K, DJI is really targeting those high-end video productions or VFX companies or even rental companies that might need any 8K rental. Or if you're just someone who needs an 8K camera, then you can obviously buy the 8K unit. I think this camera is mainly for those who don't care about the storage. They want the highest and best quality possible. And with this camera, DJI truly offers all of that in a very good price range. Now, when it comes to obviously the pricing, this camera is way cheaper compared to other 8K cameras, not only considering the fact that you have to build any 8K cinema camera to adding a wireless transmitter, lens, all the other accessories that you want to add, the price is going to be double or even triple than what this camera costs. Not only that, if you want to use the same features like this one with the gimbal, you have to also buy the Ronin 2 or any other gimbal that will basically support that camera. And again, the pricing is going to be higher than what this camera offers, and it's all built in one package. And finally, let's talk about the pricing. At the time of this recording, there's no pricing available. However, with the 8K combo package, it now comes included with the 17-28 power zoom lens, the Pro SSD with its compartment, Apple ProRes RAW license, and the built-in low-pass filter. But wait for it. If you're already someone who has the 6K version, but you want to upgrade to the 8K, you don't need to sell your whole camera and buy the 8K, because now with the DJI, they're gonna sell the separate head unit. They're gonna sell the unit separately for those who already have the 6K. Again, I don't know what the pricing is. At the time of this recording, we have no pricing for it, but I mean, now the pricing is gonna be on their website. So if you're already someone who has it, you can just upgrade the head unit. I think the pricing is probably gonna be like 3-4 grand. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll just know once it comes out. And that's it with the Ronin 4D-8K. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And also huge thanks to Cam Mackey for inviting me to this project with him. We have a lot more interesting projects coming soon, including a lot more car mount, Ronin 4D, and other stuff. So stay tuned. My name is Sam, and I'll see you on the next one.